What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of The Movie Dojo, where we discuss martial arts cinema and action films. Today, I'm going to review Seven Assassins. Here's a quick plot synopsis. When gold goes missing in ancient China, royal guards entrusted with its recovery realize they are not the only people in pursuit. Now, I'm going to give you the good, I'm going to give you the bad, I'm going to give you the badass. First up, the good. This movie is very similar to classics like Seven Samurai, or even more recently, a movie I really enjoyed called 13 Assassins. And I enjoy the notion of a small band, a small group, fighting against amazing odds, like 300. And basically what this film is about is that you have a group of rebels taking gold to help fund the rebellion, to eventually fight against the evil villain who brings tyranny across the land. But unfortunately, they get cut off by some bandits, and then that's when all hell breaks loose. The leader who was in charge of the escort ends up winding up in this small little village that has its own little secrets that contain other rebels and previous assassins who are kind of hiding there for a while. So on this end, you have the bandits, and you have the villain that's bringing tyranny to the land, basically going to the village to find the leader of the escort and to look for that gold, and then that's when the villagers decide to fight back. So the one standout thing that I enjoyed was Eric Tsang's acting performance. Obviously, this guy was the best actor in the film, and I've always enjoyed his acting performances in his previous films. He started off as a comedic actor. He was very good at it. The guy was very funny. I remember him from the Lucky Stars films. My Lucky Stars or Twinkle Twinkle Lucky Stars. Those were very fun action comedies that he was hilarious in. But then over time, he has improved as an actor and can really pull off some dramatic roles. And this is a good movie to show that. And now for the bad. Okay. So even though I like the premise of the film, it doesn't necessarily mean that it was done very well. Now, I personally don't really have a problem with wire fu, okay? It's been in the Hong Kong genre for years. The flying swordsmen, they have these powers and they can fly around. I don't have a problem with it, but I'm more of a fan of more grounded fight choreography. And sometimes you get a good mixture of both in films like Iron Monkey, where you get a lot of crazy wire fu, but some really good grounded fight choreography. This film, for some reason, the wire fu was bad. The wire fu was bad in this movie. So you have this pretty decent fight choreography, and then all of a sudden the guy's just yanked somewhere, and not pulled smoothly to where it kind of looks decent. It just looked like they just said, "Fuck it," he's just like, "Wee!" It just did not look right, and it was kind of ruining some of the fight scenes for me. I mean, come on, you have Hung Yan Yan. I'm sure I butchered that name. I'm sorry. Badass martial artist / stuntman has been in the game for years. You got him as one of the 7 assassins who's on the team, and I'm just like excited. Every time I see that guy in a kung fu movie, I'm excited. I'm like, 'cause this dude's badass. For those of you who don't know him, he was popular for playing the leader of the White Lotus cult sect in Once Upon a Time in China 2, starring Jet Li, and then after that he played a different character called Clubfoot in the rest of the Once Upon a Time in China series. So the guy is great. But you got him doing all this sword fight choreography, and all of a sudden, whee, he just yanked somewhere. And it's just like, oh, this doesn't look right. And it just wasn't good enough. It wasn't smooth. It was just really choppy and lazy looking. Another thing I didn't like about the movie was forced relationships. Like, we had this stupid subplot between the two young actors in the movie, the female and the guy. It was just kind of like, I really don't care. And I don't like movies where you don't get any character development at all, and then towards the end of the movie, let's throw in some quick character development so that you'll care so when they die. I don't like that. Let's take our time. Let's have some really good fight choreography and scenes along the way, but let's take our time and letting us get to know some of these people at least. Not all of them, but at least some. But towards the end, it felt like it was like a half an hour of just dialogue between characters that you don't care about. And it was just like, oh, can we just get to the finale already? Now if we were building us up along the way, like I was saying, and it may have been a little bit more interesting, but it just really put the film on hold, man. Like, the brakes were there, and I'm just sitting there like, I don't care. I don't care if you win the approval of your girlfriend's dad and he accepts you. Seven Assassins. This movie's called Seven Assassins, right? Not Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. And overall, the fight choreography was average at best. It was okay. It wasn't great, but it was all right. And now for the badass. Closer as we got to our finale action sequence, I started to spot a lot of old veterans, and it was like little fun Easter eggs. I was like, "Oh shit, it's Mr. Shaw Brothers," and I was like, "Oh, it's the lady is the boss, my young auntie." Oh, it's Beardy. Oh, it's Praying Mantis fighter guy from Warriors 2. That guy's awesome. Like, oh, we got two little short character cameos from T. Lung and Simon Yam. I was like, oh, this is fun. You know, a little smile was coming. And I was just kind of like, they're all going to die, huh? So the movie definitely scored some points there. Just throwing all these crafty, classic kung fu martial art actors that I am a fan of show up and help the Seven Assassins raid at the end of the movie and raid the villain of tyranny. So at this point in the movie, I was just begging, like, please, you know, okay, I'm kind of let down with this movie so far. Can we at least have a really kick-ass finale? And there's actually some pretty decent swordplay with mixture with some really bad wire fu, like I was saying earlier. But when you get to the end fight duel inside the church at the end, there's some pretty good swordplay. When they're down there and it's grounded and they're going at it, it was getting intense, and I was like, all right, finally. So, you know, there's that. So, overall, a little disappointing. It's not like I had great expectations in this type of movie, but I kind of wanted something at least close to 13 Assassins. But not a terrible film. Just average, a little bland. It really needed more action and a little bit better fight choreography and less wire fu. But Eric Sane's always fun to watch, and it was fun to see the crafty veteran. So, I'm going to give Seven Assassins 3.2 out of 5 ninja stars. Alright, that's it for today's episode of The Movie Dojo. If you've seen Seven Assassins, let me know in the comments below what you thought about it. Or let me know what your favorite 7 movie is. It could be Magnificent 7. Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that like, share, and subscribe button, and I'll see you next week with my review of Brotherhood of Blades. See you next time.